What if the man famous for driving a tiny green Mini was actually risking millions behind the wheel of some of the rarest cars in the world? Rowan Atkinson, better known as Mr. Bean, has a garage filled with machines most collectors only dream of. From devastating crashes to record-breaking sales, his collection is both thrilling and shocking. Today, I am taking you inside Rowan Atkinson's multi-million-dollar car collection, where every vehicle carries a story worth hearing. A blast from the 60s. The story starts with the 1964 Ford Falcon Sprint, a car that carried strong racing heritage. Unlike the standard Falcon with its modest inline-six engine, the Sprint model came with a 4.7-liter V8 that later influenced the design of the first Ford Mustang. Atkinson purchased his example in 2006, and true to his fearless approach, he raced it extensively before eventually parting with it at a 2021 auction for around $77,000. One unforgettable incident took place at the Goodwood Revival Shelby Cup in 2014, when he collided head-on during the race. Remarkably, both he and the Falcon survived with only minor damage. I honestly find it fascinating how Atkinson, unlike most celebrities, does not lock these classics away, but takes them to the track and risks them like any racer would. His enjoyment of this car was about more than ownership. It was about the thrill of competition. What made him choose German engineering? Among his most notable German cars was the 1993 Mercedes-Benz 500e. Built in collaboration with Porsche, this model was a discreet but powerful sedan that rivaled the BMW M5 of its time. Atkinson's version was a left-hand drive import from Japan and showed just how far his taste in cars extended beyond British classics. He eventually sent it to auction in 2018, although the sale details remain unclear. From my experience, the 500e feels like a wolf in sheep's clothing. It is not flashy, but it is brutally quick when pushed. With acceleration from 0 to 62 miles per hour in just over 6 seconds and a top speed of 155 miles per hour, it was a remarkable performance machine in its day, and it still holds respect among enthusiasts now. A taste of modern performance. Fast forward to modern times, and Rowan Atkinson still kept his eye on performance icons. His 2014 Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG is a prime example. Finished in a striking red color and fitted with dramatic gullwing doors. While the unique door design made entering and exiting the car slightly awkward for someone as tall as him, the performance made it worthwhile. Capable of reaching 60 miles per hour in only 3.4 seconds and achieving a top speed of 197 miles per hour, it was one of the fastest machines in his garage. Unlike many of the cars he sold, this SLS AMG continues to remain in his possession, standing out as one of the few modern supercars he has chosen to hold on to. An unexpected Japanese gem. Not all of his prized possessions came from Europe. The 2002 Honda NSX in his garage stands as proof of that. This facelifted version came equipped with fixed headlights and a high-revving V6 engine that utilized Honda's famous DTEC system, allowing it to redline at over 8,000 revolutions per minute. Atkinson's car was finished in a refined blue shade and offered a balance of precision handling with everyday usability. In terms of value, examples in excellent condition can fetch significant sums at auction. In my opinion, the NSX shows Rowan's appreciation for driver-focused engineering. It is not about showing off, it is about the thrill behind the wheel. This model has often been regarded as one of the most reliable and engaging sports cars of its era, and Atkinson's choice to keep one in his collection speaks volumes. Aston Martin memories. Moving back to British craftsmanship, one of Atkinson's earliest major acquisitions was the 1977 Aston Martin V8 Vantage. He became its third owner in 1984, and his commitment to the car was clear when he had it converted from a left-hand drive to a right-hand drive to suit his personal preference. This was no ordinary sports car for its era. With a 0 to 60 time of just over 5 seconds and a top speed of 175 miles per hour, the Vantage was Aston Martin's statement of power during the late 70s. Today, estimates place its auction value between $180,000 to $220,000. For Atkinson, this Aston Martin marked an important step in his journey as a collector, bridging the gap between his early passion and the much more valuable machines that came later in his career. The Bentley made for aristocrats. Among the most exclusive names in his collection sits the 2014 Bentley Mulsanne Birkin Edition, a car of which only 22 were ever produced. It carried the name of Sir Henry Tim Birkin, one of Bentley's most celebrated racing drivers, and paid tribute to his fearless legacy on the track. The Birkin edition came in just 3 exclusive finishes, including Ghost White, Damson, and a striking two-tone dark sapphire with fountain blue. Atkinson's ownership of such a rare piece placed him in a very small circle of elite collectors. A standard Mulsanne already commanded a price near $300,000, while this particular edition was estimated closer to $450,000. It was a combination of elegance, exclusivity, and racing heritage, making it one of the most aristocratic vehicles in his garage. A Rolls-Royce with a secret. One of the most intriguing vehicles in Atkinson's possession was the 2011 Rolls-Royce Phantom Drawfed Coupe, finished in North Shore blue. On the surface, it looked like the height of Rolls-Royce luxury, but beneath its long hood sat something extremely unusual. Instead of the standard 6.75-liter V12 engine, his car was fitted with a rare V16 prototype unit that Rolls-Royce had considered during development. That detail alone made it a historically significant vehicle, unlike any other Phantom delivered to customers. The estimated cost of Atkinson's car was around $500,000, but its rarity means its true value is difficult to calculate. The legend of pre-war racing. Among his most celebrated classics was the 1939 BMW 328 Roadster, a car directly tied to one of the most important races in history. This particular model was the very same machine that once claimed victory at the Mille Miglia, a legendary endurance race in Italy. With only 646 units ever built, the 328 Roadster remains an icon of pre-war automotive engineering, featuring a lightweight body and strong competition pedigree. Even standard examples fetch well over $600,000 at auction, which shows just how valuable Atkinson's car really is. He has also been seen driving this exact Roadster during Mille Miglia events, honoring its history while keeping it alive on the road. Seeing Rowan behind the wheel of such an iconic car reminds me he is not just a collector. He is a true enthusiast who lives the history, when passion costs a fortune. Not every car in his collection brought financial success. The story of the 1986 Aston Martin V8 Zagato is a prime example of passion coming at a heavy cost. Atkinson purchased the car for around $670,000 and almost immediately invested an additional $300,000 to have it modified by Aston Martin Works for competition use. The result was a unique race car that he campaigned on the track, even after suffering a crash. However, when it came time to sell, the car fetched only $162,300, a staggering loss compared to what he had invested. Later, after further modifications by another specialist, it sold again for around $335,000. This is one of those cases where passion overtakes logic, but that is what makes collectors like Atkinson fascinating to study. The crown jewel revealed. At the very top of Rowan Atkinson's collection stood the 1997 McLaren F1, a car often described as one of the greatest road cars ever built. He purchased it brand new for around $1 million, and after decades of ownership, he eventually sold it for a staggering $12.2 million. Finished in a dark burgundy shade, it was one of only 106 units ever produced, which already placed it among the rarest supercars in existence. Atkinson did not treat his F1 like a museum piece. He drove it extensively, covering over 41,000 miles, something almost unheard of for McLaren F1 owners, who usually keep their cars locked away. Along the way, he survived 2 major crashes, including one in 2011 that resulted in repair costs of over $1.4 million. And that is the car that cemented Rowan Atkinson as one of the bravest and most passionate celebrity collectors in the world. Rowan Atkinson's McLaren F1 alone proves that his passion went far beyond ordinary collecting. Which car from his collection would you want to drive just once if you had the chance? Make sure to hit like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments, and also let me know whose garage you would like me to feature next.